What up, y'all? It's your boy Ben here, and we're back at it again with another pocket video for you all. We're going to be diving into the best decks to be playing in ranked right now, while we be taking a look at the results that happened over the weekend, so that way you can stay on top of things and make your climb just that much easier. Alright, y'all, if you like the vibe, go ahead, hit that sub button, that like button, definitely click that notification bell button so that you do not miss out on a thing. And so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right on in to the numbers, to the results of where things are happening. As you can see, we're in full-blown territory now. We're getting like numbers and data on all of the decks that are looking up here, and unfortunately, like, you know, like we're seeing some big tourneys. Like this is almost this is 800 plus players. We're seeing some standings in here as we like gone through, just showing you all like what we were like combing through as we're like preparing for this video. And I have to say, if you haven't noticed the icons that are like near the top, quite frankly, especially in this 800 player tournament, Darkrai has put out a lot. They went, I believe, 12-1 in the Earthsea Day tournament, still proving and showing that consistency can remain king. So we have, you know, like I feel like there's no introduction here, but like you have your two Darkrai's and your two Giratinas, you load them up and then you just attack. And now they're just continue just to refine and just get little tools here. At this point, we're seeing that they're not opting. You know, there was like a point in time where there was a fifth basic where it could have been Nihilego and there was like 2 poison barbs here. There was a time where it was a Kamala, and you were able to power that up for Choreo. But at this point, folks are just saying you can't get through Potion, you can't get through Pokemon Center Lady, you can't get through Rocky Helmet, you can't get through the pings with Darkrai EX. Like, your Choreo is going to go down for so much chip damage and so much sustain that you're just outliving it, and then from there you just attack and destroy everything else. Especially if they try to keep their way out of it, you have a Guzma to respond to that. And they're including Sylvie here, which, like, unfortunately, you know, they're able to do that and like add this card in. It's a very good supporter slash trainer card here, being able to look at your opponent's hand, choose which supporter that you want to go away, but you still get the knowledge of what's going on in the hand here. So not really much else to say. It's Dark Tina. They just added in Silver. They're running Red Card, they're running Mars. It feels bad to play against, but like clearly it's a very, very good deck. The results speak for itself, and it's really claiming one of the bigger tournaments, or the first tournament of the new meta here. So we now move on to another deck that like is like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. This deck got piloted 6-0-1 undefeated. Really, here is awesome. In this other tournament here, and this is just kind of like the refined list here. You're running 2 Pheromoses, 1 Kartana, 2 Buzzwole EXs, 2 Celesteelas. You're getting your Lucamine here, 2 Cyruses, and then 2 Ericas with 1 Leaf Cape for your sustain here. Just the only new addition is Silver. Just again, utility knowledge is always helpful in these things. Being able to chip away with Pheromosa for 1 energy for 20, you retreat it, then you can Lucamine that energy right back up. Buzzwole starts attacking for 120, so it still allows you to retreat for free, or like switch, not retreat. You are switching out, and then Kartana or Pheromosa with only 1 energy retreat cost, then retreat for free, then you're back up and you're attacking again. If you have 2 Celesteelas, then you don't even have to worry about that. So this is a very strong deck. This is a very strong deck, very consistent deck as well too, because you're only running basic Pokemon, so you're not looking for extra pieces. Just once your cards are out there, they're out there and they're dealing damage. 1 energy 40 is a lot, and that plus 30 for the Leaf Cape really builds in that sustaining, which keeps these mons living a lot longer. 90, 100, this turns to 170. Really high health here for these mons, and high damage as well. We continue on to the Leafeon Flareon EX box, and we can no longer call it the Eevee box because we now have the Espeon and Sylveon package as well, but this is still doing great. It really did well in the EV Grove meta and has continued to transfer that over here, and that is because you're consistently getting your Flareon EX going 130 damage, or 130 damage to attack to your opponent to take away minus 20 health. Giratina, we've seen that. We've seen how well self-generation does to be able to attack, and you're totally fine. Being able to heal with your EV bag is huge, because EV bag affects, and I really didn't even realize this until now, but it affects all of the evolutions all at once. So if this is like 120, 130, 70, 120, they're all back to full health all with just one EV bag. So being able to get that all together is pretty good. Excuse me, y'all. And then you have your non-EX Leafeon here. Yes, it can't attack the following turn, but you're really only using this as your Oricorio tech. 90 means for 2 energy, means that you can attack it, and you're getting the energy from the Frost Breath. If you get it here, that's your grass energy. You then power this up with the fire, you retreat it, and then you get to combust and attack for 130 as well. So really, really clear lines, great lines. Sylveon EX continues to just be so good. Like just being able to consistently get your evolutions is really what you want to play out to here. 3 professors research in a match feels pretty awesome. So overall, still a very strong deck. So if you are looking to build out from things that you may have already had, you can continue pulling from EV Grove, because this has been doing really well this weekend and will still do well on the ladder. And so we continue into one of our newer decks for this weekend. It is the Lugia and Ho-Oh EX deck here, featuring Kamala. This is your opportunity to be able to attack for 70 damage here. Magby and Pichu both allow you to obviously energy zone. You can do it for a fire, you can do it with electric. If you have 2 Magbys, you have 2 Magbys, you have 2 Pichus, you have 2 Pichus. It really doesn't matter kind of like who does what here, and your ratios for your babies, as long as you have 2 of them which generate here. So this is what you're kind of looking for. You're hoping that you start off with your babies to generate energy for any of these, but again, once you get your Phoenix Turbo going, you will have your Lugia ready to go. They opt to use Leaf here, which like works. I kind of like the idea of Lyra in here, but maybe like Leaf just also works as well too. So I mean, you're really just retreating and then attacking both times, so it's not like you're gonna be able to retreat back out in the front anyways, so that kind of makes sense. There is just 1 giant cape here, just that way you can see that number ratio as well. We've already talked at length how much silver introduces it here, and Kamala again is just your Oricorio tech, 2 energy, 70, being able to just deal that damage right away. If it goes down, it goes down, but you dealt with the most troubling thing, and then you can get away with attacking the other ones with the Cyrus and being fine with that as well too. Its 90 HP is pretty great, because let's say you bring it in to knock out 1 Oricorio, they bring a second Oricorio up, you live through a Giovanni, and then you get to attack again. So that's really nice. Up next, Silvally. Silvally got an upgrade. It's crazy to say that. And this electric deck again, folks like sprinkling in Pichu and Magby. Please let me know in the comments why that is. I don't see the being able to consistently get this electric going. I mean, you're running electric energy anyway, so this is fine. It's also colorless, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, let me know what y'all thoughts are on like this Pichu and Magby. I'm just thinking folks just don't have both, but I could be wrong, who knows. But what's great here for you Silvally players is that Pichu, if you're going first, you love it because you crackly toss right away since this is no energy. You throw it on your type null, you Gladian into your Silvally or your Giovanni or your Sabrina, and when it's your turn, you retreat out for free. You're attacking for 100 on that second turn. This is so fast. It literally is about just turboing into your Silvally, into your Brave Buddies, into that 100 damage. Possibly 110 damage. It's just kind of insane. I would love to some way, somehow fit a possible red in here, maybe. But I mean, if you're already getting to be able to attack for 100, attacking for 50 that following turn is still gonna like clear most mons out anyways. But you're just ramping. You're just really ramping, and Oricorio allows you to buy time, even though we're seeing tech across all the decks. That's just one card in their 20 cards to really deal with the Oricorio, so you can still chip away at them as much as you want until they take that down. And at the end of the day, this works out really well because they have to take down Oricorio, they have to take down a Pichu, they have they have to take down 3 Pokemon in order to win here, instead of being able to take out an Oricorio and then an EX. So Oricorio really fits well into this. The babies really fit well into this because your Savalis are only worth 1 point and attacking for 100 each and every single time. But the ramping into the energy into this is just devastating to play against, and if you are the one who's piloting this, it feels really good to just knock out immediately what your opponent is trying to do. We then continue into the Espeon Sylveon box here. Maybe we say the EV Fire box, and this is the EV Psychic box. But either way, Espeon is a slept on card. It did not get a lot of hype. It did not get a lot of talk. Actually, the card that did get a lot of hype was the Crobat deck. And like, just to show you all something, like, Crobat is here, just 22nd place, right? Like a Snorlax EX deck did higher than that, right? Crobat EX first one is 22nd place. We look here, Crobat is down here, 39th place. Crobat, first time that we see it. Don't even think that we did. It's not even in here. Oop. We go here, 7th place. Okay, 7th and 9th. We scroll down, not even in this tournament. Scroll over here, 22nd, right? So like, this just goes to show that like there was a lot of hype for this card, and people I think haven't found their clear solution or clear ways to get this deck going, because it's not putting out results. And what is putting up results and what is taking names is Espeon here. The Psychic Healing, being able to heal 30 damage on top of your EV bag, is huge. Sylveon being able to attack for up to 130 damage just for 2 energy is huge. Being able to draw cards with your EV, draw cards with your Sylveon EX, means that you're literally being able to map out the entire game so much faster than what your opponent can do. Folks try to catch you with the red card, folks try to catch you with the Mars, but there's just too much draw power between EV, Sylveon EX, and Professor's Research for that to really matter, and for the fact that you're hitting, and for the fact that you're sustaining and hitting hard. Like you're dealing with a lot. Like your opponents have to deal with a lot when it comes to this deck. We recently played it and like actually highlighted this deck on the channel yesterday, so if you want to check that out, by all means. But we had a lot of fun tearing through ranked with this deck in particular, and I feel like this is a very strong contender, Espeon, as coming out as like one of the sleeper picks out of this new set. We continue into If It Ain't Broke, Don't Fix It. Solgaleo EX. With Sylveon EX, you're drawing your cards. I like the collect from Eevee here instead of find a friend, primarily because I'm trying to find my rare candies. This deck is not running any stage 1, so it does not really benefit me to draw my stage 2s if I don't have my rare candy in hand. So I'm opting for collect here to cycle through quickly so I can get my rare candy. You can make the whole thing of like, well, isn't it the case that you thin your deck out so your chances of getting rare candy is higher? But I will say, if I hit find a friend and I need to evolve into Solgaleo EX, I already have one in hand. Find a friend doesn't do anything for me, right? So like being able to hit collect, get that rare candy off the top or wherever it came from, and then being able to go into an attack and go into my 120 right away is huge. And like the one upgrade for this deck with the new set is Steel Apron. Steel Apron being able to minus 10 damage from the attacks from the opponents, recovers from all special conditions, and can't be affected by any special conditions. You turn into a tank here which is pretty cool. You don't have to worry about special conditions, no poison. Crobat has been trying to do that, but we're starting to see that dwindle, so who knows? It may be just a tournament thing. Might see it a lot on ranked. So still Apron's actually pretty cool to get rid of that poison, not having to worry about it. Up next, we have the Sylveon EX and Greninja deck here, featuring Giratina as kind of like your closer. It's just powerful. It's just powerful. You're able to cycle into your Greninja so often and so consistently. You're running dual energy here, so that way you can attack with any of these mons. So you're attacking for 80, you're attacking for 90 potentially, you're attacking for 150. Folks can't run away because Greninja and Cyrus is just a deadly combination. The Iono here is newer to me. Typically, I've seen something else in this slot. So you can play around with that one. I think this could be your flex slot here. Definitely red card as well too. Excuse me. Just for any other supporter cards that you're looking for, but I think the Iono here is just trying to get to your draw power as much as you can if you need to, and again, collect EV over find a friend, especially when you don't have your stage 1, is super important. And then our last deck here, which is a little spicy, is a Snorlax EX Ho-Ho EX deck here. You're running Magby. This is just you could run a Pichu here as well too, it really doesn't matter. Primarily just because this is a psychic only deck, because you're trying to power up your Giratina when you can. You can reach out to Ho-Ho, power up your Ho-Ho with your Magby to start off with, which then powers up your Snorlax. You're attacking for 130 and healing for 20 per each turn. Your Giratina, if these things are in order, is obviously powering up, and your Kamala here is just to attack for Oricorio. Ilma here is to get that, if you're starting off with Snorlax, let that be the tank, absorb the hits. You getting 20 health back is huge, because then you don't have to worry about it. Then you can bounce that back and start attacking with whatever you need to. Lyra here to switch in, so that way you can get yourself set up for things as well too. So overall, there's a lot of good pieces here. The healing for sustain, the giant cape to kind of keep your mons tanky as much as you can, or even just outlive some hits, like giant keeping a baby mon to put a 50 HP sometimes can be really helpful for you. So that's really cool. I kind of like the combinations of these cards, especially with the supporters, right? Like your normal bouncing, your Lyras here, to really mitigate these this high end retreat costs and not really have to worry about a lot. So yeah, y'all, this is just kind of like our wrap up here. A lot of good decks, a lot of little things that are changing into the meta of Wisdom and Sea and Sky, but this is like the first big weekend for tournaments, and as always, we'll continue to keep y'all up to date on what the meta is looking like. So by all means, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe, and definitely click the notification bell button so that you do not miss out on a thing. So next time, y'all, peace.